Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought, episode 3 for the German Empire. And we're gonna jump right into a vulnerable convoy battle. Is to advance towers and enemy facing with the bow of the ship. This is incoming. Oh, reduce penetration. Okay. We're fighting 2 light cruisers versus 2 of their lights and a heavy of their cruisers. So we'll see how this goes. It's going to be interesting because, of course, we do lack certain advantages the enemy has. They have about a 10,000 ton bonus over us. And, of course, we're fighting with light cruisers. They're fighting with whatever they've brought here, so quite a bit more firepower. Of course, our light cruisers are no pushover ships. They are fairly well armored, or fairly well armed. Not the best armor, but of course none of our ships have the best armor. As long as I can sink to the enemy transports before their ships can even get even remotely close to us, we're good. Plus, these ships at 36 max speed, their heavy cruisers and lights that they have here probably top out at around 28. So, the fact is we have a significant advantage in terms of sheer speed over our enemy in most cases, which is absolutely handy to have. And we can see the first bit of enemy fire coming in. Of course, it's not going to matter much if their transports are literally dead by the time that we even spot their ships. There's their ships over there in the corner. About 8 kilometers away from us. Our light cruisers weren't too bad to build, so what I'm going to do is actually send them in and see how they stack up to their opponent ships. They are quicker. They do have smoke. The Amazon and Switchwobble. Speed is their strong suit, which is a major bonus over our current ships, but it is a bonus that we will nonetheless see. Torpedoes hurt. We are going to lose the forward of our 2 ships to a torpedo strike, which is unfortunate because I really was hoping not to lose any ships here. That their torpedoes hurt this ship. I don't know that we're gonna do much here. We may very well just end up losing our ship for nothing. We might consider next time we have light cruisers engaged like this. Simply not going in might be a bonus, because as we can clearly see here, we just lost both our light cruisers for no more than their transports, and that's a pretty hefty loss on our part, especially when we didn't even sink any of their ships. Of course, you know, comes with what we've got here. We're still in the lead, victories points wise, but we just took a massive hit to our economy, which is not good. I need more transports here. That's negative 3 million for us. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we need to up our transports here and stop losing them. Let's get our heavy cruiser back. We lost 2 transports, they lost 1, and we've got a convoy mission at the ready. Spotted to the northwest. I didn't like losing our light cruisers this last fight, so we've got to consider if we can actually, if I want to engage their cruisers or risk, you know, the loss of 2 more of our lights, or if I simply just want to destroy their transports and get out of here as quickly as I can. Though I think 2 light cruisers versus 2 my light cruisers might leave some room to be desired. I think I might actually be able to take that with some fair effectiveness, which I'm going to attempt to do because it's who I am. I like the chance that I very well could lose this game. Of course, we're not playing on normal, we're not playing on easy, we're playing on hard, so I want a challenge. I want to be able to lose the game. So, you know, engaging these ships, which is what I feel you would do in a situation where you clearly have a numbers advantage to your opponent, I'm going to do. The only thing is, I don't have torpedoes loaded in our forward ship. I don't even think I have torpedoes. The torpedoes are loaded in our rear ship, so we do have that going for us at least. And it looks like we are about to find out just how ineffective our ship is against torpedoes. Which I really dislike how that works because, you know, we've got torpedoes on board, but our torpedoes, the chances of us hitting a torpedo strike are so low compared to the enemy. And we've got to hope to hell that the second salvo of torpedoes that we're about to take doesn't destroy our ship here. Now their ships are capable of 26 knots. Our ships have a little bit more firepower on them, and they just had a flash fire on 1. Okay. Whew. We sunk 1. Go German. Go German engineering. I mean, literally, probably luck that we didn't lose our first ship. We're going to take a forward torpedo strike, but dodge the incoming of the rest of the torpedoes. Okay, 2 of their light cruisers out of the game. Of course, victory points, we only get 1,000 for that. They get nearly 8,000 for destroying 2 of ours. But we're holding on, and we now know that 2 of our light cruisers versus 2 of theirs isn't exactly a fair fight for us. Which tells me I might need to consider redesigning our light cruisers, or getting some destroyers on the field, possibly, just to torp the crap out of the enemy. But then again, I mean, these battle cruisers just, they're so effective. We're minus 8 million a month, so I've got to drop that back down in the reasonability. Okay, we're plus 7 million, which is now the time to buffle into rebuilding our... Oh! We pushed episode 3, pushing the British blockade away. Whew. I don't know how we did it, but we did it. We're not under blockade no more. That's right. Germany's back, bitch. And you know what? For the case that we are back, it is time to build us a battleship. Battlecruiser versus battleship. Let's go. Ooh. And this is our 16-incher. 5x speed in normally. Let's off our torpedoes, fire everything aggressively. And let's fire high explosive shells. Ooh, this is one of their lighter battleships. That can't be too heavy of a ship. We're closing that distance fairly well. We have 6% chance to hit on our 8s and our 16s, which is good. 21,000 2-inch shells. 21,000 2-inch shells. Who the hell needs 21,000 2-inch shells, man? I guess they're good for taking out destroyers when they get too close, but their max range is only 2.5 kilometers. This is a 15-inch and they're 4 2-inch gun again. It's gotta tell me that they've gotta be fairly light ships, because that's not a lot of armament. Even with 15-inch armor. They only have slightly thicker main belt armor than we do. Rudder damage, flooding, and a fire on board. We've damage dealt. We've fired 26. We've hit 26 of 433. 30 of 452. 31 of 458. 7 of 22. That's not bad. Yeah, their ship's 37.5. Ours is almost... It's over. We're almost 1,200 or 12,000 tons heavier than their battleship. Which is saying something, considering our ship's a battle cruiser. Theirs is actually a battleship. Our ship's designed to deal punishment and be lightly armored, and their ship's designed to dish out damage. And they're just not capable of doing that when they're 12,000 tons lighter than my battle cruisers. I mean, yeah, they've got some decent gun armor, but they don't have very thick main armor, and they're a battleship. They should have thicker main armor than me. We've got a very low chance to bounce right now. That's why I changed back into direction, is to close distance on them. Their broadside's capable to us, but to me, their broadside is going to mean a lot less if I can bring that forward pen back and dodge down, bounce a lot more of their round. Plus, we gotta wait for that main turret to swing back around. Only by about 2% did she sink to heavy flooding instead of, you know, other methods. That brings their battleships and battlecruisers back in line with what we have. Roughly one battlecruiser, or one battleship to one battleship, 2 battlecruisers to 1 battlecruiser on their part. But they have 25 destroyers, 15 light cruisers, and 9 heavy cruisers to project power with, whereas we have no destroyers currently. British Empire blockades Germany once again. We lost 4 transports, and we're back into the red. We gotta take out that light cruiser. The invention of the radio telegraph enhances significantly the naval communications. Let's fire everything. Save our torpedoes, though. They're what, 9 kilometers away? 8.6, 8.5? We destroyed their secondary tower, that's, I guess, a bonus. Now, again, 26 knots to my 30. So as long as I can keep them within range, I can dodge their torpedoes all day, even though they have 8 more. Doesn't matter a whole lot if I have bigger guns than they do, though. And they only have 6 inches. I have 8 inches. We might want to consider maybe a couple more heavy cruisers with a little bit more of a significant forward arsenal. Destroyed their secondary tower. That's bonus, I guess. One in every 4 of our shots were hitting. Are still hitting. Once our own maneuver stops getting in our way. We almost swung into our like we almost overswung our tail end into that torpedo, which would have damaged our rudder. It would have been terribly catastrophic for us. It would have messed us up. And we sink their light cruiser, which is good for us. It's a little bit of a victory. And only light damage to our cruiser. We got to get our ships back down in there. Our 2 light cruisers got to go back down to port. I think that's our ship that was just damaged, right? Yeah. Naval funds, okay. Our naval funds were insufficient, which just hurt our, well, actually, you know what? Keep my transport cap at max, and let's drop that. Auto result heavy and heavy, okay. I will take it. So for you guys that are curious why I just auto-resolved both those battles, fun fact, ships with torpedoes only hit when you're not there. So if you have more torpedoes, which I do on my 2 ships, than they do, when I'm not there, they actually do a lot more. When I'm there, they do a lot less, and that's because torpedoes suck in this game when you're aiming them, or when you're fighting an AI who knows about them. We're building 2 and repairing 1. 15 and 24 months, respectively. Okay, this should be the first real test of our battle cruiser. She's fighting another battle cruiser of near equal tonnage. Pennant and flooding right there. 13. kilometers. We're actually closing that distance really quickly. Are they aiming near us? Oh, they are. They're kind of porting towards us a little bit. With their what appear to be 15 inchers. And a couple maybe 6s. Now it looks like they're trying to pull back maybe. They get in within 9.8 kilometers and they're like, nope, that guy's got 18-inch guns. We're turning around. Ooh, penetration, flooding, and damage to their rudder. We haven't even, I don't even think we've actually had a direct hit land and damage us. We've had 3 ricochet rounds. 3 rounds ricochet. Granted, you keep in mind, we're firing 18-inch shells. They're firing 15s. That's a significant impact difference. Also an ammo difference. We only have 600 shells. They have a lot. Yeah, they have 633 left. And they're 14-inch shells. Okay. They're not 15s. They do have torpedoes aboard. And a 31.4 knot top speed. Of course, you know, their top speed only helps them if they actually are in range. Or only helps them if they're not heavily damaged, too. Or flooded, you know. Their ship has 3 sections flooded. And they're only firing back with 2 of their 14s, which, basically, to put it in perspective, they're firing back with 2 14s. I'm firing with 2 18s and a couple 8s. Which puts a significant firepower damage advantage into my favor at this range. Because they are only firing back with their 2s. Which does mean we can actually, you know, just kind of chase them and keep hammering rounds into them. Fire and flooding aboard, and they may very well sink here. Yep. They sink, and we take maybe light structural damage, 3 or 4% to our structural integrity. Okay, so ship sunk. Battle Cruiser Enterprise. Again, I'm gonna auto-resolve this fight because I don't want to fight it, and we are blockaded currently, which is unfortunate because that's really hurting our financial well-being here. They're basically just slowly choking us out. But the nice thing is we're not weak by any means. Are we weak? We've got our light cruisers, which are getting repaired. We've got our heavy cruiser sitting in port, which is also getting repaired. Add a little bit back to our financial budget here. We're currently in negative 16 million funds for transport losses. I'll resolve that fight, because I don't want to fight. Okay. Empire has ceased. Okay. Interesting news warns the head of Admiralty, David Betty, for his excessive naval expenditures, which is good for us. We can win that. We can win that. But before we do anything, I want to dump a lot of money back into my budgets here and look at my fleet. It looks like we're waiting another 9 and 18 months respectively. I think this is the first battle that I actually get to see both my battle cruisers hound the enemy from afar. It may not be the first battle. Maybe the first episode there was a battle like this, but if there was, oh well. Detach it. You're going straight. You're going straight. You're going straight. None of you are firing torpedoes. All of you are aggressively firing secondaries and primaries, and let's fire high explosive. Now they're of concern because if they get close, they can do a lot of damage. So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna turn that battle cruiser, this battle cruiser, the opposite direction, and we're gonna fire our heavy cruiser around. Now there's two reasons we're doing this. The first is that it allows us to actually bring more weapons to bear to the forward section. It also allows us to dodge torpedoes more effectively. We'll go up and we'll curtail hook. You can rush in. Against destroyers, you actually have a fairly decent armament. That's proper naval escort right here. Okay, so we're actually managing to do a lot here with our battle cruisers. Of course, we're taking very minimal damage too. We're actually able to, so far, take out, by the looks of it, most of their destroyer fleet, along with a goodly portion of their, if not, well, we're going to be able to sink all their transport fleets, or ships, I think. Now, the reason you might be confused as to why I'm firing battlecruiser, stop targeting him, start targeting him. You might be a little confused as to why I'm targeting everything except for this really slow destroyer here. Well, if it is in a group, which it is, it will slow down whatever ship it's in a group with, allowing me to basically better target all of the ships in that group. This poor little destroyer is so far away, and it's just gonna get pummeled into oblivion. 11.5 kilometers from my nearest ship, I think. Come on, we can sink her. Whew, I don't know what the heck hit it, but something big hit it. Probably an 18 or 16-inch shell directly hit. I mean, end our battle. Okay. 10 destroyers, no casualties our side. 15 total enemy ships sunk, including their 5 transport ships. Which is absolutely just beautiful. We're slowly whittling the British Empire down to a reasonable enemy force. Our naval prestige sucks royally, and our military budget doesn't help much. But we should be able to start building that back now that we have naval superiority once again. No, we don't have naval superiority. What we have is a superiority of, well, number of big ships. Which, pre-World War II, is how empires projected their power. You didn't need cruisers or anything like that. Now, this is going to be an interesting fight. This ship was never designed to engage this many destroyers. Of course, it's pretty easy to ambush, you know, ships when they don't have a good escort, a proper escort. Most of these ships had, by the looks of it, 1 or 2 torpedoes, and that was their arsenal. But which is good for us. It's a bonus, but it's not necessarily. It's telling that they only had one or two torpedoes, thinking Their destroyers probably didn't need much more because, well, they come in, they drop their load of torpedoes at the enemy, and then they retreat beyond a reasonable distance with their 41 knot speed. Or 2% current aim. %4 chance to hit. That's a decent chance to hit. Ooh, that poor destroyer. I mean, at that range, you can't do much. These ships are, yeah, they're all out of torpedoes, so I don't really know what their plan as far as I'm concerned is, but I'm like, you don't have torpedoes, so you can't sink me. The biggest gun this ship has a 5-inch, which, okay, grants you at 1,000 meters, even at 7.5 kilometers, if you can hit me with your 2.1% accuracy, you could theoretically pen my main belt. Ooh, somebody had a torpedo left. Term being, okay, 2 people had torpedoes left, but compared to my forward firepower, even compared to my torpedoes, I have more torpedoes than they do. Well, I just took out their main gun. At this range, it is nearly impossible to miss. Even with them inside of smoke, I still have a 20% chance to hit. 50% chance to hit. Now they have smoke, which is currently protecting a lot of my fire from actually hitting them, but that won't last forever. And considering all 3 of their ships, except for this one right here, have engine damage, or did have engine That one's now has engine damage once again. This one's got 2 engine damage, so no point in focusing on it because it can't run even if it wanted to. Just like that one can't run now. Let the gun rotate and fire away. 45% chance to hit with our main guns. End the battle, and they lost 1,200 crew. We lost 181. We sunk 8 of their destroyers against one of our heavy cruisers. This is the fun of the game. You get to be put in situations where you could lose or you could win, and I'm going to take that as a hefty victory, considering right now I sit with 6 ships. They nearly they have almost 6 times the amount of ships that I have. Almost 7. The battle cruiser Gaffspree versus the battle cruiser Renown. The blue bar indicator shows the flooding status of the ship. And I don't know why it says blue bar. I guess that is blue bar, and that is green bar. Okay, never mind. The Gaffspree's got the 18-inch guns. The morning salvo of hell on her side. The biggest possible guns I could equip, by the way. Twelve kilometers away. Okay, it's not a terrible engagement range by any means, but 10% chance to hit. Our 7 is decent chance. 5s, our 6s, 5s, 4s. We have 2s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 18s. We don't have any 3s or 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, 16s, or 17s. I think we need one of each gun on board. That'd be a lot of firepower. That'd be almost impossible to do too. Their battle cruisers have firepower. It's not that they lack firepower. It's that they lack, I guess, the utility means to use it. No, they're firing. It's not like they're not, but they're just ricocheting most of their shells right off of me. 4 partial pens versus 7.2-inch armor. Which should probably be my after main deck. Or one of my turrets. 4 ricochets. I've had 7 fires, 1 flood, 9.8 average armor penetrated, 5.7 average effective pen, 301 crew dead, 2,000 damage, 25, basically 12% of my shots are hitting. And they're running now. See, so they've turned tail to run now that they know that they can't win the fight because they're getting obliterated, and then yeah, they go to retreat, and they basically guarantee their death because they're slower. Now if they were quicker or had some good rear guns to keep them covered or rear armor that was good, maybe, but I think their best bet would be just to kind of push in and get point blank with me, because they'd have more guns hitting me, bigger guns hitting me. I have quite a few small guns, which is always nice. British head of Admiralty is suddenly replaced. That same battle cruiser, by the way, that was just in a fight, is going to engage 2 heavy cruisers, a light cruiser, 2 destroyers, and 2 transports. Of course, that'll have to be next episode's thing. This video's kind of ran on a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. Without further ado, have a good one, and I will talk to you guys later. Of course, if you did enjoy the video, before you go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button for the next episode. Have Have a great one.